So before we start the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to Flea for sending me through a few clips for me to use in this tutorial. I do class this as the meta and what you should be doing for Fortnite montages, and if you're not currently doing it, then you should be. This video will be split into 3 sections. The first part taking a look at Flea's time remap, the second section talking about the time remap concept, and the last and juicy part, and the part that you guys really want to know, how to time remap your builds and your edits. Alright, let's go. So the section 1 part of the video is pretty much me just figuring out Flea's time remap and remaking every single part that he did with time remap. Now for the new guys that don't know what time remap is the ability to change the velocity or speed of a clip and to go from normal speed to either fast or slow. Now halfway through this tutorial I realized that teaching you guys exactly how Flea done his time remap in his montage wouldn't be the best teaching. The best thing that I can do is to teach you the concept that he used. Now the concept meaning that I would teach you exactly how to use time remap and the ways that he used them so that you are able to apply this exact concept into your own clips, because every single clip is different. Every single use of time remap will also be different. It will never be the same. Now the exact use of time remap in Flea's montage and the keyframes that he used and put in place might not work for your clips, so you would have to learn how to adjust your time remap according to your clips. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you guys, which will benefit you in the long run. Before we move on, I'll just show you guys the keyframes used to imitate Flea's exact time remap. There's approximately 15 keyframes all up, so the concept does require multiple keyframes and not just the usual 3 or 2, but I will get to that and teach you guys that in section 3. So on screen you will see one of my own clips where I have edited it and used the time remap concept. This concept has been around for a while, and I'm pretty sure I was the first person to introduce this style of time remap to Flea. As you can see in one of my old posts, I was experimenting on this type of remap in 2019. Now I know Flea won't mind me showing these screenshots of mine and his conversations from a while ago. I wanted to show you guys these so then you know I am 100% legit when it comes to time remap. I'm not doing this for the views, I'm doing this because I feel that you guys should be taught the right way, and I know Flea's entire style is made up of a few things, but this is the most important part of what makes him stand out to everyone else. Now I can't speak about time remap without mentioning the person that was doing it before me. Pud was the very first person that I ever saw doing this style of time remap. I started off section 3 by marking out all my beats first. I also placed time remap onto my clip, and I placed a time remap keyframe right on the gunshot. I placed this in line with the beat that I wanted the gunshot on, and now as we get into the next part of the video in section 3, you will see that I am starting to put time remap keyframes on the different parts of the video's builds and edits. So now what I'm looking for is the first part that I want to time remap, which will be this part. So this is where my character starts the edit, so I want to select a keyframe for that part there, and then I want to continue to about there and set another keyframe, and now I'll drag this keyframe back to there and I will drag that to there, and I'll just see what this looks like. So So that's okay for this part. So I'm just going to continue down, and what I might do is go to the drop right here, set another keyframe, drag that back to this, so then that's in line with that. And then what I might do is go to about the beginning of the jump, set a keyframe there, drag that back to be in line with this, continue down, go to the beginning of that edit, set another keyframe and drag that one to about there. Now I might go through to the part where she's just walking through the door, set a keyframe, drag that to there. So I'm just looking for things that I can play with, you know, just parts that I can play with speed. So now I just want to set a keyframe for when she looks at that corner, and I want to place that in line with this, and then I'm just going to carry on down to about here, set another keyframe for when she's about to edit, and then I'm going to go to about there, set another keyframe, put that in line with that, and now I'm going to, so I might go to where she just confirms this one, about there, set a keyframe, move that back to be in line with that. Now I'm going to carry on to about just before about there, and I'm just going to set a keyframe there, boom. So let's just start off with these. We'll start off with these parts, time remapped, and then we'll see where we can go from there. Alright, so you can tell by watching that that looks really bad, and some parts are faster than other parts. So we'll start from the beginning first, which will be this section right here. So this part right here, I already can see I can adjust. So what I think would look cool is if I set a keyframe right there, because you can see she grabs the edit here, and then she looks down at this angle which ends right here. And then what I want to do is I want to drag this back maybe 1, 2, 3 keyframes before that. I'm going to highlight both and drag that 3 back, so then this is in line with this. So what this should do is this should quickly play that part there, and then this part should be slow. So let's have a look at that. Yep. Now what I'll do with this part here too is this part's pretty ugly, so I might begin this on that part right there, because this part here is, let me just show you this part here, that's like a really big jump. So what I'll do is I'll go to start from there. As you can see, the difference between these two frames is not that much, so I'll set a keyframe there, delete that one, bring that one back, and let's see if that looks a little better. Yep, looks a little bit better. So what I might do here as well, so I think this part here looks fine. So I think it's the edit that I might need to change. So that part there looks fine. So I think what I want to do now is I want to kind of change this part. So we might go to there, set a keyframe at the end of the edit. So there's the beginning, there's the end. So now I want to bring that back just a little bit, so it's a quick little part. Yep, that looks a little better. So what we could do now is I might put a keyframe there, and bring that back. So for some reason I feel like this character's on that part for too long. What I might do is set a keyframe here, completely remove these two and go to here. Yep. So that looks a little bit better. So now what I want to do is go to here and go, so just before she starts looking to the left, kind of want to go about here and set a keyframe there, bring that back to 3 frames before this, 1, 2, 3, see what that looks like. So I feel like this part here would actually be better on this part, so we'll just see what this looks like. What I'll do is I'll delete that and bring these 3 back to here. Yeah, so that already looks better having made that change. Alright, so that looks much better. So what I might do now is bring this part back to here, see what that looks like. And now these edits, kind of want to have them on these 2 beats right here, so I might bring this back a little bit. Let's go to about here, set a keyframe. Sorry about my phone going off in the background. Try and turn that off. So now what I might do is put that there, and let's just see what this looks like. Yeah, that looks okay. So now I want to go to the edit, which is there, set it there, bring this back to where that beat is, bring this to be 3 keyframes back, 1, 2, 3, let's look at that. Yeah, so that's coming together. So let's go to the next part, which is here. So it will be the placement of the cone. So we'll just see what this looks like. 1, 2, 3. So we'll just take a look at this. Okay, so that part there definitely needs some work. So I might go to where that part is there, delete this, bring that back, and then we'll go down to where she places the floor, which is there. Let's set a keyframe there, bring that back to be in line with that, and then we'll go set that 1, 2, 3. Let's go to where he confirms the edit, go to the keyframe, set a keyframe, place it there, and now let's take a look and see if that looks a little bit better than before. Alright, so it looks alright, still needs some work. So what I could do is bring this back 3, go to that part there, bring that to there, and check that out. So we might just leave it at that for now. So we might go back and just see what this looks like when we get in the graph editor and make everything look smooth. So for this section, all you're trying to do is you're trying to find pieces of the clip which are edits or build placement, and you're just trying to mark them out with keyframes, time remap keyframes, and you're trying to see how well you can mix those sections with the music. Now when you do this, these keyframes right now aren't smooth and they ain't smoothened out. These keyframes right now are just basic, so we'll get into the graph editor and start smoothing out these keyframes. We'll grab this here, drag that to there, and then point that towards there. Carrying on, go to the section, do the same thing right there, the same thing right here. So all you're pretty much doing, so you just want to continue doing the same thing to the graph until you reach the end. So after smoothing out the graph editor and adjusting some of the keyframes to different places between the builds and the edits, this is the final product. I did add a few things from my own style just to make it look a little bit better, such as shakes, exposure and blur. These things can make it look a lot better, but what's more important than that is getting your keyframes on the right moments of the clips. Your keyframe placement can mean the difference between your clip being good and great, but what's more important than that is making sure that you smoothen out your keyframes in the graph editor. There is nothing more important than this.
Don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight. She don't gotta wait on me. No.
And that brings us to the end of the video. If this helps any of you guys out, then please leave a like on the video and comment. If any of you need help, I'll be sure to watch the comments. I plan on bringing out a few videos of secret effects that people ain't using in the community, so be on the lookout for that. I hope that this video helps you all. Thanks once again, and I'll see you in the next one.